Hey folks, we're here in Stacy, Minnesota, here with Mark Ritter. And Mark Ritter's a former champion, a few years, national champion, and he's going to show us around here 4 times. Sorry about that, yeah.
Sorry.
A few is 3. So Mark Ritter, show us around here a little bit, what you got there.
Well, I try to keep my thing, I don't want it to be a job, it's like a hobby. So I keep what I do to a minimum. I actually only breed out of 6 pair. But because I lost a team of young hens last year, I put a few fosters together. And once they make it in here, I do try to bring them out and try and refly them to see if they stay strong. But this is my breeding loft. My nest boxes are 32 deep, 30 across, and 4 feet tall.
Okay.
And I figure, because I do individually breed with everything I do, and they got to stay cooped in up there during the season. To me, you just got to kind of keep them happy. Mm-hmm. And this way, too, is if you do individually, which a lot of people do or don't. I mean, it's a little more work, but honestly, you don't get scalp babies, you don't get broken eggs. And if you want to say my pedigrees are pure, they're as pure as they can be since I got the pigeons. Now, I got my restart. I used to fly Pelona birds when I was a kid, but I got my restart about 2012 again, after being in the dog world for 30 years, from the John Elton, Don Olette line of pigeons. But when I first got back, I had Pelona, and of course nobody handles Pelona, but I seen the birds. I liked the way they performed. They might be a little bit more wild than a lot of families, so they're really not for everybody, but I've had good luck with them. And they have, just like all pigeons, they have their little intricacies, but again, I've had good luck with them, and I try and band about 35 a year. It doesn't give a person a lot of birds for backups if you have a loss, but you get a little bit more knowledge of what you're actually flying, because I think some of the guys that try and fly 5 kits, it's like it becomes who's what and how to play with them. And a lot of times I think those birds and those types of amount of pigeons, some of them have to suffer, because how do you get them all flown and a lot of people can get their air time down to a minimum, but honestly, my birds will fly about anywhere from an hour and a half to 3 hours. So,
Okay.
but,
all right.
but yeah, but this is it. This is where they play. And this is kind of the breeding loft, and of course these are all the nest boxes. And again, like I said, I all individually breed. Mm-hmm. Pretty much everything you'll find in here goes back to a pigeon I call the white hen, and I can kind of brag a little bit about her, Dan, because her offspring, as well as grandkids, actually I can name it, but it's not important, have actually taken 7 different people from different states to their finals. And these are pretty much all go back to that hen, which again I call the white hen. And I call her white. She's not really white. She's actually more of a lavender. In fact, this here is one of her sons. And he was really a superstar in the year. I just retired him this year, so this is his first time in the love machines.
Nice.
We'll see what happens. But this is kind of it in a nutshell. And again, I got 6 main pair in here, but I also got some foster pair, because I'm down to a bare minimum of pigeons if I want to play.
Mm-hmm. Nice setup still. I like the idea of the individual breeding.
Yeah, and this is pretty much what I use for my breeder mix.
Okay. How much percentage is that?
It's supposed to be, according to the mixers, it's supposed to be 21, but I really don't know.
That's for your breeders.
Yeah. And when I fly my young birds as well as my main team, when they do land, I feed them the first day. I feed them straight this breeder mix, because I give back what I took away. Mm-hmm. But then, like I was saying, Dan, is The next day I put them right back on straight red wheat as long as it's warm time. The next day, depending on, now the young birds fly every day, but once they're giving me 45 minutes, then I get them back on the realm. But the day before, which a lot of people probably think I'm crazy, but the day before I turn them loose to actually fly them again, I don't feed them. And they got water, but they don't have feed. That way I know, I mean, they'll still give me an hour and a half of fly time, but I know when they hit the top of the roof, they will trap.
Right. They don't have anything in their crop.
Yeah. And let's face it, we know when they hit the top of the roof, if there's birds of prey around, that's open target.
Right. All right. Well, thank you there, Mark, for showing us around.
Sure.
Nice setup. And we're gonna finish up here. Beautiful place. Thank you again, Mark, for hosting me and showing me around.
Well, you're welcome anytime, Dan. Like I said, it's we're a little bit of funny weather today. It's kind of like a hazy sky.
Yeah, it is. It's not.
But it's kind of weird. But
it's not overcast. It's just a haze.
But I think if the haze disappeared, we'd be plenty hot, which is
I agree.
Which Minnesota is not known
It
for.
actually feels good with the little breeze.
Yeah.
All right. There you have it, guys.